And great to have joining us now is Mindy Weiss. She's an expert on planning your wedding. We're going to find out all about it. She's got a new book out called An Expert's Guide to Planning Your Perfect Day Your Way. And Mindy Weiss joined us by telephone. And Mindy, good to talk with you. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised reading through the book and some of the notes that this month, September and October, are becoming popular months for weddings. I guess most people think it's June, right? But these months are popular now?
Of course, they're very popular. I'm in California, so we're year-round, but I'm finding that I'm traveling to New York and back east, and most of my events are September, October, and even November.
Is that kind of new, that those 2 months are more popular, or has it always been that way? We just didn't know it.
No, I think that nobody wrote about it and knew about it, but I'm thinking that it's not only in California now, it's kind of going East Coast and, in the Midwest.
Right.
That, people in the Midwest and East Coast can save a little money by planning your wedding in a little bit of colder months, and then you have a theme.
Yeah, true. If you want to do June, the prices are, I'm sure, way up for some of these wedding halls, right? Or
yes,
catering halls. So
absolutely. May and June, your prime months, they get top dollar.
December, I guess, is pretty popular too, right? Christmas time?
December's popular more, I think, West Coast.
Is that right?
I think East Coast, you get a lot better deals, but people have to have confident brides and grooms to have events in December, January, February on the East Coast.
Well, you planned
the weather.
You planned a bunch of weddings in your career. What's kind of new today that maybe people aren't aware of that that's in the wedding business that people can look for?
Right. Well, I think that what we see a lot of now is even with the dressiest weddings, we're doing family-style food service. So the waiters are coming around and doing like big bowls of pasta and a beautiful salad and coming around and passing the proteins like filet and grilled chicken and a beautiful fish. And even though it may be a casual service style, that's what clients are enjoying.
Are people getting away from hiring? I grew up in New York, Long Island. There's 3 or 4 big catering halls that people always wanted to try and use for weddings. Are people getting away from that now? Maybe having them in their homes or smaller venues?
It's interesting. We do weddings all over, and most of the brides and grooms come in and they say, we want a unique location. But then when they see the prices for a unique location, where you have to bring in bathrooms and everything from salt and pepper shakers and kitchens, then they always end up back at the hotels or the halls because, those places have everything included in it, so it saves a lot of money.
I know down here in Florida where I am, Sarasota, Tampa Bay area, a lot of people do their weddings on the beach. They wait till it gets a little cooler, but that seems to be quite popular.
Yeah.
Is that I guess, out by you too, right? In California?
Yeah, it's funny. People come out and they come out to California and say, we want to get married on the beach. But in California, there's not a lot of places to get married on the beach, unless you own a home on the water. So, there's a lot of other places like Mexico and Hawaii where people are going to get married on the beach.
I know you talk a lot about in the book now that websites and I guess social media is becoming more necessary, right, to plan a wedding. Can you give an example or two?
Oh, yeah. I mean, clients come in, we spend a day trying to figure out their hashtag. They want a clever name on their hashtag, and then they can use that hashtag all the way from the engagement to the honeymoon. And people can follow their story, which I think is really cool. And, of course, the wedding day, we're making custom signs for people to remember to, Instagram.
Is that really what it's used for? Does people can follow whatever the hashtag is, the 2 people's names or whatever, that just kind of follow them along? Okay. All right.
Yeah, they follow them along.
I wouldn't even thought of that for a wedding. Okay, great.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome.
What about, now you talk about transportation, which I thought was kind of interesting. In the past, people would rent limos, but Uber, I guess, is becoming popular for that, right?
Yes. We have a lot of young adults who like to party. So we want to make sure they get home safely, and we suggest Uber or car service, even getting there and getting home. And we try to get special rates with companies like Uber to give the guests a little bit of a discount to encourage them to use, car service.
Do you find, Mindy, the younger folks, like you said, millennial age, are less concerned with maybe all the bells and whistles and more with keeping the costs low, or how is the generation of today looking at weddings?
Right. Well, I find with the millennials, they're very concerned about certain things. So a lot of them love great wine, so they'll give up maybe a full band and use a DJ to have a great wine service, or they love fine cheese, or they have their priorities, either foodies or good alcohol, or the bride wants flowers. So with the millennials, they're very methodical in their thinking on the budget, and they will make a priority for some and get rid of other things very easily.
You just mentioned bands as opposed to DJ. What's used more now? Is it the recorded music, or are bands still popular?
Well, bands are still very popular because there's so much talent out there that you can get very close to the actual song. But if you are on a budget, a DJ is a better option. And if you have a nice budget, it's nice to do a band for the reception, and then turn it into an after party and bring on a DJ so the party keeps going.
Yeah. You also have a great section on, of course, with the new technology, photography for a wedding. That used to be one guy with a camera walking around, but I guess that's changed now, right? With videos and digital photography and all that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, just discussions on drones. Can you imagine? Like, if the clients are getting married outdoors. And
the drones overhead.
Drones. Oh, yeah. They want aerial shots. And photography, to me, is somewhere where you put your money. That is your only thing you have at the end, are your memories, as fantastic photography. That is not a place to skimp on. And it's also nice that, because of social networking, you really have a lot of pictures from your guests with different perspectives. So that's another nice way to capture, but you should always invest good money in a very experienced photographer.
How about the wedding dress? I mean, that's always the big expense for the bride. Is that changed at all, how they look at that, or is that still the same?
Well, there's a lot of companies now where you can rent your wedding dress for the day of, which I think very budget-conscious brides do, and there's beautiful options. But for most of my brides, they want their own dress. They've dreamt about it. They've researched it. Some of them try on hundreds of dresses. And, there's so many options, so many price ranges that you're able to get a beautiful dress now, at lower cost.
Do you find, Mindy, that weddings are, people are interested in getting married as much? You always hear people, well, I don't want to get married, maybe they'll live together or whatever, but are weddings still on people's minds as far as you can see?
Hey, I'm doing 60 this year.
Well, that's pretty good.
So the wedding industry is huge. I think the engagements might be a little longer because people want to take the time to plan their big day, and especially if it's destination. But weddings aren't going away. That's why I got in this business. You can always count on a wedding.
Well, that's good news to hear. And again, the book is called The Wedding Book, An Expert's Guide to Planning Your Perfect Day Your Way. And we've been talking with Mindy Weiss. And Mindy, give out your website and people get more information about you and the book.
Sure. You can buy a signed copy of my book on MindyWeiss.com, or you can find all my books at Amazon.com.
Great. Mindy, pleasure talking to you. Hopefully we can do it again. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
If you'd like to order the book we're talking about, please go to DougMilesMedia.com and enter the author's name in the Amazon search box. Thank you for listening. Please come back soon for more conversations here at DougMilesMedia.com. This has been a presentation of Doug Miles Media, all rights reserved. You can listen to or download previous programs at iTunes, Stitcher.com, or Doug Miles Media.